Okay, so product update. I hope you feel very nice and comfy in the dark cinema and in the comfy chair with the lights winking at me, hence the glasses. Product update. How many of you are actually developers in the room or project managers? Can you raise the hands? Okay, there is quite a few, yeah, thank you very much. How many of you are reading the release notes or watching the product update videos that we release with the releases of the product? You do? Okay, so let's test it. What's the latest release of Magnolia that is out?
5.4.7.
Once again? 5.4.7, yeah, indeed. Okay, you do read it. But not everybody was able to say that, so let's go through it anyway. A year ago, at this very stage, Philip, somewhere in the audience, up there on the balcony, announced Magnolia 5.4 and all the features which it delivered. The highlight just here, in case you don't remember, I hope you all took the year to try it out and you are using it in production. There are lots of features, lots of great things which it delivered, and you should be taking benefit of that already for a long time. But that's not what I want to talk about. What I do want to talk about is actually, and that was too fast, so let's do it again. Hello? Yes. What I want to talk about is all the things that we did in the product since the release. And there was a lot, because innovate we do, think it works. There was lots of things which we did for 5.4, like introducing the line development, adding you the ability to configure everything in the file system. With that came a whole set of new problems, new things that we needed to learn, to deal with, to work on. And because of the amount of complexity involved, we also had to do some updates, like for example, rewrite the resource loading cascade again. We delivered lots of other updates. I would love to talk about each of them in detail, but maybe just one sample for all. The decoration, which is now possible with Magnolia. If in this example, what I do is with one line change in one configuration file, I'm able to override the configuration which exists in Magnolia elsewhere. I'm able to layer and create actually multiple layers of those configurations on top of each other and allow you safely change the configuration of Magnolia. And if it doesn't work, you can just delete the file and you are back where you were. The file lives in the file system, so very easily you can do it, even if it would mean that your change brought Magnolia down or made the interface inaccessible. There were lots of other things, lots of improvements for editors to make their life easier and working with the content faster. There were lots of improvements for the admins, for the people who need to, for the DevOps teams, for people who need to work with Magnolia in the backend. We added lots of tooling for them, or everything tooling made it easier to see what's going on and how the things work and why. So, if you really look at all those things that we did in the product, if you pick any 3-4 of them, put them together, we could have released that as the major version. But instead we, letting you wait for it in the major version, we gave you all those things over the year in the small incremental releases, so you could get them faster. Because the speed matters. And it's not actually all that we did. We did more things. One of those is the Magnolia connectors. As you know, we have plenty of connectors, and there was really a storm of releases for marketing cloud or marketing automation solutions. We have plenty new ones or upgraded the ones which existed before. And again, I would love to talk about all those updates, but the time is running short. So instead, what I just do, I highlight one of my personal picks, and that's the in-page analytics. Right now, with Magnolia, with the latest version, with this connector, what you can do, you can see the analytics, how your pages are trending, or any other stats that you configure to be pulled from your analytics, and you can see them in the pages. Your editors can see them in the pages. They can see immediately how the change which they made makes the customer react. Is it good change? Is it bad? Could it be even more improved? You can configure lots of metrics that you show them. You don't even need to give them access to the analytics. You just route it through Magnolia. And still, this is not all. There is more to come. Because apart from the main product and apart from the connectors, we also have Magnolia solutions. For those of you who don't know about the solutions, those are the special packages which we build to together with some of you, with some clients, with some customers, with some partners, based on your specific request, things which allow us to dive deep into specific niche, into specific topic, explore the space, and come up with something this is new, something which was not done with Magnolia previously. And if we find that this is of interest for general audience, then we bring it back into the product. And there was a number of those solutions which we released over the last 12 months. And again, just my favorite pick. There is a solution for working with collaborative teams. Some of you come from the big companies, you have lots of editors, you have lots of people who work in parallel with different teams. Sometimes they need to edit the content in parallel, they need to create two different versions, so to say, at the same time. And with this solution, we allow you to have multiple authoring environments and distribute the work and then bring it back together in very controlled manner, in very controlled fashion, with showing you to the smallest possible detail what is actually happening, what changes incoming, how that fits in your system, what is going to change, and allowing you to either individually each of those changes accept or reject, or just merge it all together at once, whatever you want. And of course, it also gives you possibility to do the global tagging, so you can create snapshots in time of your whole site, including all the configuration, everything, not just the website, full system. And you can roll it back. Really great stuff. So, that's where we stand today. That's what we have. And I say we have, well, it was not really me who developed the code, it's all the great Magnolia developers, all the people from all the technical writers, all the other people who worked on it hard. They really tried to do their best. They love Magnolia and they live it every day. So if you may, please, a round of applause for all of those who actually worked hard on it. Thank you very much. And if this brief update was not enough for you, if you want to know in details about each of those features, because I would love to tell you in details about those, and I actually did, we have the video which is about half an hour talk, really explaining in more details each of those features. So perhaps tonight after the party, when you are in very good mood and sitting in your hotel, still being able to consume something, you might want to consume this video. If you don't remember the link, don't worry, I will post the link on Twitter again. There is the tag down there in the corner, so after the talk you will see the link there as well. You don't need to remember. And fortunately, I'm not the only person speaking here, so some of those updates about the analytics you will hear more in talk from Jan and Edwin later today. It's about the marketing cloud and specifically about the IPM marketing cloud solution connector and the stuff that you can do with it. And not to forget, there will be one more. Tomorrow in the keynote, in the morning, on this very stage, Rasmus and Christopher will be talking about all the things which we did with light developments and which we are planning to do with light developments in more details as well. And if you like to speak numbers, just like I do, we did 16 branch releases, really 16, not just Magnolia 5.4, but also the other branches, so that many releases we did for you. It was altogether over 240 modules, or there were 7 new solutions. If you wish, you can also talk in tickets. It was over 700 or nearly 800 tickets that we resolved, and they were worth of 1,800 story points. If you don't know what the story points are, since we are using the car analogy, you can think of it as the mileage, as the number on your odometer. No matter where you go, the number goes, and this is the mileage that we got over the year. That's how far we got, and it's really a lot of work of a lot of people. And yesterday, our CMO, Lars, asked me, what is it about developers and beer, which made me thinking, and last night I actually dig out this number looking at our deliveries. So over the year, we also consumed those nearly 1,500 bottles of beer that I know of. I'm sure there was more. But enough about what we did. Let's have a look at what is coming, because that's the thing which is even harder for you to find on our website. Probably doesn't come as a surprise. I'm very opinionated when it comes to the product strategy, to the roadmap, to what we should or shouldn't do. And surprisingly, again, I'm not alone. Magnolia is full of very smart people, and they tend to be very opinionated. We all are. Which is why there is no single person deciding the whole strategy. What we actually do is we have the dedicated product management team that is taking care of listening to everybody, listening to all the people inside, listening to you as a customers and partners, looking at the market, what is going on, looking where the competition is moving, trying to get the general mood and predict the best what it is that you will actually need most in 6, 9, 12 months from now, so we can deliver. And of course those things tend to change, and because of that our roadmap tends to change as well. And I will not talk too much about it. Again, come tomorrow to the keynote. Rasmus will cover this part in much more detail than I do. But there's few personal highlights, picks, which I can't not mention. One of the things which we observe, and I'm sure you do as well, we build the systems which are more and more complex. Everybody puts in more integrations, more stuff, more systems working together, and it's becoming harder and harder for anybody to actually understand in their organization the whole thing from A to Z, from beginning to end, and that's becoming a problem. And if it's not obvious, that's actually one of the problems which we hope to help you to address with Magnolia Now solution. Related to that is also that as we try to build the more complex system, as we try to automate the way how we put things together, there is more and more content which is pushed to the user, which is bombarding your senses, and what the human brain does is it just desensitizes itself, and we grow basically ignorant of that. We try to filter the content out, and what starts happening is that you react only to those things which are actually pushed closest to you. And for that you need to work with the website, you need to work with your systems, you need to actually adapt the changes to get them to your user closer. And as well related to that is the fact that the lifespan of content is getting ever shorter. It's now like, you know, the fruit fly, it dies within 24 hours sometimes. And that again put extra stress on the people who are maintaining, who are curating the content, who are entering new content, because they need to work fast. Every website is pretty much becoming the news website these days. If I was to summarize it all in one sentence, I would say that the end customers not only expect, they really demand the relevance, they demand the coherence, they want the unified presence over all channels on which you are present. And that's what we hope to help you deliver with our products. So, in details, what it means for you is that with Magnolia 5.5 that we will be releasing this year, before end of the year, together with Magnolia Now 1.0 in November, you will get component personalization. Okay, I don't hear anybody cheering. I thought you were waiting for that for quite a while. So you get it, finally. There. Again, to help the editors and authors to work with the system, we will be improving the author experience further. We will be working on that hard. We will continue work on the ease of development, because we see that it has momentum, that it really captured your interest, that you love it all. We do as well. And then there are the other things which we need to do just to stay afloat and keep the system safe and secure and performant as it is right now. Again, just few personal picks. If you haven't seen that before, this is how the definitions app will look like. That's the new app that will replace the configuration, because the time for Windows registry like apps is hopefully finally over. So it will allow you to change the configuration in much more safe manner, while still giving you leaving you the freedom to change anything that needs to be changed. We will be also bringing in the app switcher with extra new features. Some of you already tried it on Forge. It's there quite a while, but it will be even pimped up and made better. And if you really want to know what's possible to do with all the UI, I would just invite you to the two talks tomorrow by Mika and Sasha, where they will explore what you can do with the UI and how you can make it even greater for your own personal solutions, whenever you need to do. On the ease of development, of course, It was already said, everybody speaks JavaScript now, so do we. So we are bringing some extra tooling, which is based on NPM, some extra CLI tooling. And because that thing deserves much more time than I can give it right now. There is a talk later today after lunch. If you feel comfortable with full stomach, you can come back to the cinema. Sit here on those very same chairs, and I'll be here with Tomáš, and we will be talking about it, explaining in more details. And again, tomorrow in the keynote, you will get even more details on what's coming and how it works and why. I know it's a shameless plug for another presentation, sorry about that. So that's about the product itself, about the core of Magnolia. Of course, apart from that, we will be also working on other things. Among them is more connectors. We pimped up all the marketing cloud, all the marketing automation connectors that we had. We gave you more relevant information about what the users do, how they behave. So now the next logical step is to add even more e-commerce connectors. The two which are definitively on the list are the commerce tools and demandware. And actually, in fact, the commerce tools connector is released right now. And this afternoon, Nicolas and Samuel will show you how you can use the commerce tools, how you can benefit from it, how the connector works and what it does for you with Magnolia. So if this is your cup of tea, come and listen to this talk. And again, not only the connectors, we have more stuff to come. There's always more. Right? It's like Christmas. We are working on even more solutions, the special solutions, one which allow you to use the OAuth for authentication for your public users, so you don't need to manage all the users in Magnolia. You can just plug in any OAuth-enabled provider and use it. There is the live copy. If you know some other products, you might know what that feature means. Thank you. But my personal favorite, and the one which I want to mention in more details, is actually the commenting service. It sounds very simple. It is actually very simple. But it's the first of those new solutions, new connectors, new systems, which I like to call zero configuration system, which we are building for you. This is where we are testing the ground. And basically all you need to do to get it running is really drop the jar, and put in the connector your client ID, or if it's on demand, you just opt for it and you have the ID already there. And you don't need to worry about synchronizing the content between the public instances, bringing it back to outdoor. You don't need to worry about how people can get the right access or cannot, how the things work, does it scale, does it perform, can you access it over the JavaScript, or can you access it as the normal template. In your template, you can just bind whatever comments you want to either the page or any other content or any other identifier that you have on the page, and it will just work. You have seen that already being beta tested on our own corporate website at the blogs. So that's yet another thing that's coming that you will be able to take benefit of. That's another of the solutions. And there is more of such solutions which are planned. I will not spoil the surprise. So you will have to wait for it, but there will be more of those where you can just drop it in, don't take care about configuration, just use it. So that's about the product and where we want to get by end of this year. Yes, I know there is not much time. That's what we want to do, and I certainly hope that we are able to do it. It looks good so far. And it's not all. Pascal and Boris already mentioned Magnolia Now. And I would like to come back to it and maybe look at some more technical details. So if you look, this is the typical business flow of the things, how they work. You have some business users, you have developers and their stuff. And what Magnolia Now is really covering is this part when you start bringing in other people, when you move away from the pure developer work on your laptop, when you need to show the things, when you need others to test it, while you still want the freedom to continue developing and continue working on the things. Or in another picture, if you look here, the blue and green boxes, that's something which you already could do now with Magnolia today, not now, today, with Magnolia Core. The amber box up there is actually the list of extra things which you would be able to do and cover with Magnolia Now solution. And you should be able to take benefit of them very seamlessly and very nicely, lowering the pain of having to configure, set up, and maintain everything. Here is yet another view of the same thing, listing when those things are coming, for which release, but maybe let's have a look at each of those in detail. So one of the things which we bring to you, which was not shown in the video, is the automated deployment. So whenever we release new version of Magnolia, right now you have to scramble, you have to look at oh, there is a new version, you need to upgrade. What we will do here is we deliver this version to you on that environment. We allow you to apply it in the integration, in the UAT, and when you retest your content and are sure that everything works or fix whatever is not working anymore, you can deploy it to production. Very nice, very easy, no wondering which build works, not did you deploy everything, just with the click of the button. Similarly, all your work that you do as a developer that was shown in the video, you just commit it to the repository, to the version control, which is tied to your environment, and there you can just promote and deploy. Same way, in the other direction, you can get all the content from production in the UAT environment, so when you are testing new release, you don't need to do it just on a small subset of the data and take it on make-believe that it will work on the whole site. You can get everything and you can do the full test and be sure that it is gonna work when you deploy it finally to the production, and then you can just deploy it. Of course, without saying comes that there is the backup solution configured for you, and the backups are taken care of automatically, and they are verified, validated, make sure that you can actually restore them. How many of you are doing that actually regularly when you take the backup or when you have automated backup configured? Are you actually testing that when you do the backup, you are able to restore? Every time? Okay, wow, one great hand. You are good. Wanna work for Magnolia? And of course, we have also the disaster recovery built in case, I don't know, you run quickly for the coffee and maybe the cat walked over your keyboard while you had everything open and deleted the homepage with all the content, or maybe even torn down the environment. You can restore everything. You have the release of Magnolia, you have your code in the code repository, and you have the backup. You can bring those things back together and just get your environment running again. And of course, for those of you who need to be up all the time, who need more performance, Pascal was already showing it, there will be more packages available, there will be auto-scaling added to the system, and we will make sure that it is up and running and that you can always serve your customers and help them. So that's about Magnolia now. There will be live demo in the afternoon. There will be also hands-on session, hands-on labs where you can try it, when you can see it. It's not just a video, it's not fake. It's a real thing, it's there. And we want you to play with it and try it out. To keep the legal happy, well, many of the things which I mentioned are the predictions and estimates, and it's the software. We do new things, we try to do things which nobody did before. So of course there is some uncertainty, but to the best of my knowledge, we will deliver what we promised. And with that, thank you very much. Thanks for listening.